Welcome back, it's Smashboss here, and in today's video I want to present the last part of my new show level. So last time I already discussed the sections up until CP2, and this time I will go over the final section. So right when you start from CP2 there is the possibility to go this way, and since I didn't really know what to make here, I just put in a little Uno Mas trick. So right here in this claw you can see a P-switch, and well, seems like nothing special is happening here. So if you go back you get a spring, but if you come back now here then there's suddenly a muncher, and also this whole area turns into an anti-softlocks because now you have to jump into the bullet bill with a spring jump. So the Uno Mas part of this is actually just this setup right here, which makes it so that the first time you get here, there's the P-switch in the claw, and if you release the P-switch from the claw, the next time you go far enough to wait to unload this stuff and go back in, it will always grab the muncher and not spawn the P-switch anymore.
Let's go!
So as you can see, as long as the P-switch stays in the claw, the P-switch will always be the item that's in the claw. However, once you release it, go back and go there again, then it's suddenly the muncher, and from that point on it will always be the muncher, so the P-switch won't spawn anymore. So then, how do these items only fall down once you go back and forth here? Here is actually a setup using a block that first spawn blocks a cannon but then goes away, so out of the spawn location of the cannon. So the first time this area loads in, the block is here and the cannon doesn't spawn. But the second time when you go over here, the block on the track stays globally loaded, so that's now always here. And if you go back then again, nothing spawn blocks the cannon anymore, so it can go here and push the spring down. The same thing in a little bit more simplified version right here. So here it's just literally a cannon that falls down the second time you go into this area. But the actual path to take after CP2 is to go into this pipe, and right away you're presented with a choice. It looks like on the way that you have to take, all you need to do is to melt the ice with the red Yoshi that you have available right here. Also, this area at the top looks like a complete trap, so why would anyone ever go there? However, if you go down here, suddenly an infinite amount of P-switches will get activated, and now the problem is, even though you melt the ice, you cannot get through this anymore because they are now solid blocks, and you would have needed the clown car in order to shoot a clown car blast at these blocks. So you don't 100% have to go into this area, you can also stand here. However, the thing is that even though this looks like a 100% trap, by using the clown car you can actually get out of this again. So now, when the blocks are solid, you can go through here. Also, there's this row of hidden blocks right here to seemingly stop you from bringing any of the items with you. However, if you go down here, it's exactly what you have to do. So by putting the Yoshi in the clown car, it will follow you up through the hidden blocks. The only thing that doesn't work is if you are in the clown car or on the Yoshi. But if you put the Yoshi in the clown car, it can go through the hidden blocks. So you can bring the Yoshi down here and melt these ice blocks. So if you land in this area, without having the red Yoshi, there's a series of events that will, kind of like a chain reaction, slowly activate more and more setups until eventually a launcher drops down that shoots fish at you. However, the positioning of the launcher in this case is also very specific, because, as you will be able to see soon, when the launcher shoots the fish, you just automatically kill it, so there's actually no way to easily get killed by this. What you have to do is basically jump at the right time and then walk into the backside of the fish. So it's also kind of like an anti. And during this whole process, this funny face looks at you. So continuing right here, if you have the Yoshi right here, you can go down here. So now the thing is, you could also activate this whole contraption right here, and the launchers would eventually drop down, which would allow you to get up here with Yoshi without jumping off of him. However, this is of course not wanted, so during this whole setup, there's also an on-off switch triggered that would block the path right here if you still activate the setup. So here you now get a green Yoshi, and you see up there there's a key. However, if you try to jump towards the key, another setup activates that will infinitely hit P-switches, and even if you now have the key and go through the door, on the other side there's just another infinite P-switch setup. But at the same time, this setup also reveals the hint for what you actually have to do. So it says key egg, and it basically shows the same hint up here that was down here. And as you can see in the editor, this Yoshi egg indeed does contain a key. So what you have to do right here is to get this Yoshi and go back down here to get the key from this egg, and then you can go through here. So if the player now waits and wants to consider things, suddenly this weird glitch that I recently showed in one of my videos will happen, and this spike top will just go straight through the wall and block this area so that the player will lose his mushroom. So in order to prevent that, just go fast, and then you are here, and this setup is now kind of similar to something that already previously happened in the level. So going back all the way to the beginning, there was this setup right here, where the player also has the chance or the decision to make if he wants to jump into this block or not. So back then the solution was jump next to the block once, which will make a power block fall, and then hit the block. So here the player gets to make a similar decision. However, the solution is of course slightly different this time. So if the player jumps here, nothing happens. So then maybe the player says, okay, let's just hit a block, and it reveals a power block. However, as soon as the player wants to grab it, a shell that is launched off screen destroys the power block. So in that case, the solution for this setup is to walk over here to spawn the shell and then activate the block. Then you can go through here. There is also a hidden block right here if you want to get the shell, because, well, the shell is not needed for the next part. So if you did this section correctly, you destroyed the muncher with this power block, and you also lost your power up by going through the saw blade. So you're now here in this area of the level as Small Mario, and this is actually already the final troll of the level. So here we have this very suspicious fish setup up top right here, And also the classic something is gonna happen if you jump around these launchers. So the solution, as you can see in this case, is to actually go down here because there's the end of the level. However, most players will think they are actually dodging a troll if they manage to get across right here without anything weird happening. So then if they go into this pipe, of course there's a hint that reveals that they actually have to go down here. And that's then already the final part of the level. So this is now the first version of this level that I'm also going to upload. And now the level should be play tested, of course. So if you have the chance to play the level and you find any stuff that you think that should be different, like softlocks or anything, or you think the anti-softlocks that I put in are too difficult or whatever, then please tell me. And if I get enough feedback to make another video, then I will try to include all this feedback in another video. So that's it for today, and I hope you enjoyed the video.